Hi guys, welcome back to my channel after the swipes. Thank you for joining me today. We're gonna have a good time. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. So my brother-in-law sometimes jokes that I date like a lesbian. Okay. There's like a joke, right? That like lesbians fall in love in like 2 weeks and moving together. And so sometimes he jokes that like when I really like somebody, like that's me. Right? Just stay with me now, okay? Before you start judging. Okay, stay with me now. Remember, I have been single for 4 years, okay? So what does he mean by this? So they can kind of tell, like my family can tell when I like really like somebody and obviously when I don't, right? Because when I really like somebody, like, okay, is that the one? Like is that the same one you've been talking about? Like, they can tell, like, oh, okay, she likes this one because she's been on several dates with this one, and it's kind of funny because I do date often, okay, and I think everybody should like date often, date multiple people, and just because you're dating multiple people doesn't mean you're being intimate with multiple people. Like that, those two things are not the same, okay. um but it's almost funny sometimes because my family doesn't even like learn their names sometimes because they're like, we don't know yet if this person is gonna last, right? And I think that's part of dating, right? Is you start to get to know somebody, right? Like you go on the first dates. So I don't wait like a long time, okay, before I go on a date. Like, so if we match, right? Let's say I match with you today and we start having conversation. And that's another thing too with me. Like if I match with you today and I don't mind initiating a conversation, especially if I think you're cute. Like especially if I think you're cute, there's something about your bio I like I'm not one of those people that has to like, oh, wait for him to initiate. If I'm not really feeling you like that, then I'll probably wait. If I'm being honest. But if like I really, there's something about you that I'm excited about, then of course I will initiate. So that's honestly why I feel like dating is a game. Okay, dating is a game. Quite honestly, it's a game. Okay, so if I message you and it takes you 2 business days to respond, then you are not that into me. That is the message that you're sending me. Because if you message me and it takes me 3 business days to respond, I am not that into you, sir. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not that into you. Now, of course, there are exceptions, right? Like, I might be sick. That might be a particularly busy week. But, like, come on now. Okay, like, come on. If you're single and you're actually looking for something intentional, right? And, you just match with this person that, physically is your type, they have the right job, like, somebody that is actually your type and you're interested in getting to know, why is it taking you 2 business days to respond? Like, I'm waiting. Why is it taking you 2 business days to respond? Like, I don't know, but it doesn't take me 2 business days to respond when I'm into you. Again, things do happen, right? Like, it could have been a really, like, for example, I've been sick all week. Okay, I've been sick all week. So apologies to if I sound a little a little congested. Okay, I had to put on my superpower, my red lip. Okay, I don't think I've done a video with a red lip yet. Yeah, so my red lip is my superpower. Okay. Because I had to make sure I don't look sick. Okay. So yeah, if it takes you like, 2 business days to respond, I start to feel like, yeah, this is just, this is what you're doing in your free time. And then I start to return that energy. I do also recognize though that online dating, like, everyone has such a short attention span, quite honestly. That's also why, if we match, you're not giving me serial killer vibes, like our initial conversation is flowing right. I'm open to meeting, as soon as makes sense for the both of us, right? And again, you set up a meeting in a neutral place, public place, like you're not going to his house or anything stupid like that, right? And you carry on, right? So now once that initial date happens, right, then again, you've now met, you've had a date, and then you guys decide if you want to see each other again, right? And you keep going from there. So I think after the first date, you kind of decide like, okay, is this somebody I want to see again? Right. And so I don't really think I'm designed to be a girlfriend. I think I'm really more designed to be a wife. You know what I mean? And let me explain what I mean by that. So, what I mean by that is, like when I find my person, or when I think I found my person, when I think I found I do get very excited. I start to think, okay, is this somebody that I could really see myself with down the line? And they are like major questions I ask myself. Like, if God forbid something happened to me, like I was in the hospital, God forbid, and you had to make like major life decisions on my behalf, are you somebody that I think would actually be able to understand, and ask the right decisions? Could you be an advocate on my behalf? Number one, could I trust you to withstand the stress of such a situation? Would you be someone that would just break down and close yourself off? And like I'm someone that's very serious. I'm a very serious person, quite honestly. So I always think of things like that, because I know I can count on myself, right? I know I can count on myself. I know the person I'm with can count on me to be there. And so, of course, I want to find the person that I can count on, right? And so, if I'm looking at you as somebody that, shit, you can't even figure out your life, how the hell can you come and, like be there for me if something like this were to happen, right? So, that's usually something that I'm just like, if I can't picture that, we like I'm like, nah, this not gonna happen. This not gonna happen. There are like so many men that want kids, but like don't actually want to parent kids. Match with this guy. He said he wanted 6 kids. And I'm just looking at this man like, okay, sir. And so I said, are you gonna wake up in the middle of the night to help with the feedings, right? He said, I think it's a reasonable question. And so he said, oh, no, 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 he's not going to do that. I said, why not? He said, well, that most women will not even allow him to do that. That most women will not even allow him to do that. They want to be so bonded with the kids. I said, oh, no, sir, I'm not most women. I will absolutely allow you. You want 6 kids, but you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to help with your kids? You don't lost your mind. You don't lost your mind. Okay, so that's what I mean. Like, how do you want to father 6 kids, but you don't want to help with any of the activities? Like, are you okay? Are you okay? And also, you don't got 6 kids money. Don't even get me started, girl. Don't get me started. My match with this guy. We went on a date, and all was cool. Okay, but the deal breaker was he told me he wanted his wife to go live in Nigeria. Okay. Now, this man, travels all around the world, lives a beautiful lifestyle, but he wanted his wife to go live in Nigeria, have a bunch of kids for him, and be in Nigeria. And there's nothing wrong with living in Nigeria, especially if, you have a decent amount of money, you can live a really good life there. But the fact that he was going to be traveling all around the world and then wanted to remove me from the beautiful life I'm living to go put me in Nigeria that I already left, but he didn't want to go live there. You see, sometimes devil will just be testing you. Okay, you will just be minding your business. Devil will just come and be testing you. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is when Nigerians will say village people. The village people will just come and be testing you. Because what's that exactly? Hmm. Whew. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. We thank God. We thank God. Okay. Whew. Okay. Now, you know what? I think one of the big lessons I've learned from being like single and dating is and one of the really this has saved me. Okay, I'm being serious now. This has really saved me is you have to learn how to do your research. Mhm. Let me repeat it. You have to learn how to do your research. Mhm. Everybody has a digital footprint these days. Okay. And if you don't, it's probably because you are hiding something. Okay. Anybody that tells me today, oh, they are not online, they are not, I will just swipe peacefully. Peacefully. There is no need to argue. Okay. If I match with somebody online now, and a man tells me, oh, I don't do Facebook, oh, I don't do Instagram, oh, I don't do, it's either one or two things. He's lying, he's a married man, and he's just lying to you. Okay. Doesn't want to give you those things so that you can't find his wife and his 5 kids. Okay. Or or there's something off about him. Okay. Now I have met men that are not active on these sites, right? Men that you know those men that follow like 2,000 women, but they have zero posts. He might be one of those, right? That like they have the Instagram account, but they have zero posts or that one post, right? But they follow like 2,000 women. He might have one of those accounts, and so he's probably telling you that he doesn't have Instagram because he has Instagram but there's nothing on it, and he doesn't want you to now go and see that he's just following 2,000 random women. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so he's just probably gonna say, oh, I don't have Instagram, or I'm not active on Instagram. So you have to really be, when you ask somebody, hey, do you have Instagram? Like, you have to be very clear, like, oh, you don't have Instagram, you don't have Facebook, you don't have TikTok. Like somebody just said they don't have anything, they don't have Snapchat, they don't have, you now have to ask them, why is the government after you? That is the next question you have to ask. Okay, why are you hiding from the government? That is the next question that you have to follow up with, because everybody like in a certain age group, even older people, okay, have one of these things. I was just reading the other day that they want to start paying, is it social security or what, through X? Okay, so like everybody has some kind of social media account in 2025. And if he says he doesn't, girl, run. Okay, if he legitimately says he does not, and you still want to go be with that man, when we see you on 2020, girl, we already we okay. So anyway, like I said, Google that man. Okay, Google that man. And if you cannot find anything about that man, okay, because so the thing is, see, not all men obviously are going to be super active, okay, but you know who will be? His wife. His wife. You, his wife. His wife will be active. So if he has a wife, you will find her. You see what I mean now? If he has a wife, you will find her. And this video is not about that. I'm not going to talk about those stories today because this video is not about that. But we will get to those stories. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.